Let's now turn to our panel today. With us is Jose Aristimuno, a former DNC Deputy Press Secretary, and Jeff Crouere, a Louisiana talk radio host and GOP strategist. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Jeff, I want to start with you. The criticism from the administration on this is that, look, the oil companies, they've got the leases, they should be drilling more, they should be extracting more, and it's just they're not doing it. What do you say to that?
Well, here in Louisiana, we've lost all kind of jobs because of the moratorium on drilling in federal territory, Rich, in waters and lands. The federal government has really gone in an opposite direction from when Donald Trump was president. Remember, we were energy independent then. Now we're going hat in hand to Saudi Arabia, a country with human rights abuses. Joe Biden called them a pariah. They hacked to death an American journalist, Rich. And now we're going to be asking them for more production. We need to be producing here. Louisiana needs the jobs. We need to do something about inflation. I know that the price has gone down a little bit, Rich, but we're still double where it was when Donald Trump was president. And American families are getting hit hard. You know, the polls show that this is the #1 issue among Americans, the inflation, the economy, the gas prices. And Joe Biden, Rich, has been a total disaster. And this is just another embarrassment. He's going to a country, hat in hand, one that we really should not be taking that kind of a stance with. We need to be doing it right here. We need the jobs here, Rich.
Jeff, you mentioned the Washington Post, and that's, by the way, the paper that Jamal Khashoggi was writing for when he was assassinated. This is what the president wrote in the Washington Post recently, quote, "A more secure and integrated Middle East benefits Americans in many ways. Its waterways are essential to global trade and the supply chains we rely on. Its energy resources are vital for mitigating the impact on global supplies of Russia's war in Ukraine." Jose, this op-ed was pretty light on references to oil. How important is it that the administration downplay that piece of this as the president heads to the Middle East?
Well, I don't think we should downplay it. I think we should talk about it. There's no question that we need to increase oil production at the global level. We got to recognize that gas prices are not dictated by the United States alone. They're dictated by the world, by OPEC. So he's doing the right thing, talking to the Saudis, talking to Venezuela, producing more oil here at home than Donald Trump did during his first year in office. So we are doing the job. We are getting things done. You know, you look at that, you look at inflation. You know, most economists say that inflation has peaked. So I'm hopeful that in the next coming months, inflation will start to come down. Gas prices have started to come down, and the economy continues to go up. I mean, we saw it last month. Over 372,000 jobs were created alone. Over 8 million jobs created in this administration altogether. So that is what leadership looks like. I understand the polls go up and down. It is a concern, but we're not 4 days away from the midterm elections. We're 4 months away. So I think we'll do just fine come November.
Jeff, look at that point right there. We have 4 months to go until the midterm elections if the economy manages to turn around. But there are still major problems with inflation. There are still other challenges that the White House faces when it comes to the economy. Would it be a disappointment, or beyond a disappointment, a failure for Republicans if they don't take control of both houses of Congress in November?
Well, I think it would be a big failure, Rich, considering the fact that this has been the worst president in U.S. history. You know, talking about inflation, it was 1.4% when Donald Trump left office. Now it's 8.6%. People vote their pocketbook. People vote on economic issues. Even if it comes down a little, it's still going to be way higher than it was when Donald Trump was president. So I think that's going to motivate a lot of Republicans to get out and vote in big numbers. I think you're going to see a Republican wave, a big red wave, a tsunami. And one poll showed recently, Rich, that 88% of Americans think we're on the wrong track. Joe Biden's approval numbers are in the low 30s. So we have only 4 months. He's not going to turn it around. He doesn't have the capability. He doesn't have the leadership skills. He doesn't have the right ideas. He doesn't have the right team. The Republicans, unless they blow it, and they could blow it, but if they don't blow it, they're going to win big in November.
Jose, how do Democrats try to make sure Republicans do blow it? And how do you look at the abortion issue, and how does it, or will it, galvanize the left as it did the right for so many years when Roe v. Wade was in play?
Well, they did blow it back in 2020, right? We got to remember that they lost the House, they lost the Senate, and they lost the White House. So they're good at losing. But I can tell you, historically, come the midterms, the party in power, you know, Biden, the Democrats being the case, they lose seats. So are the Democrats going to lose seats in November? I mean, yes, we are. But the question is by how much? Look, I think we face a tough situation because the American people are not going to give credit to Joe Biden for anything he's done until he brings inflation down, until he brings gas prices down. So I get it. I mean, it's a constant reminder. Gas prices are already starting to come down. Look, Republicans already, with how they face and how they talk about abortion, it's concerning. I think women really have the decision, really have a big power come November. Most Americans, they are pro-choice. I mean, most Americans want women to have some sort of a choice when it comes to their own body. So I think abortion, even though it might not be the most important issue, I recognize inflation and the economy are number one, but abortion is going to be one of those top 5 issues, I'm certain, and women are going to come out and vote their emotions come November.
Jose Aristimuno, Jeff Crouere, thanks, fellas, for joining me this afternoon. Much appreciated.
Thank you.